Look, we always assume that the person who doesn't post their photos is just shy, or maybe they have nothing interesting going on in their lives. But what if that is a total lie? What if the silence on their profile is actually a strategic move or a sign of a much deeper psychological shift that you can't even imagine? While everyone else is busy chasing likes and screaming for attention, these invisible people are playing a completely different game. A game of privacy and power that most of us have already lost without even knowing it. In this video, we are going to peel back the curtain on why some of the most intelligent and grounded people you know have chosen to disappear from your feed. Trust me, the reason isn't what you think it is. Stay with me, because once you understand this mystery, you might never look at a social media profile the same way again. Most of us are living in a giant feedback loop where our self-worth is tied to a thumb icon on a screen. We wake up and the first thing we do is check if the world has approved of our existence yet. But the people who stopped posting have realized something that most of us are too scared to admit. They realized that 1,000 likes won't fill the hole left by a lack of real self-respect. When you post a photo, you are basically putting your happiness up for auction and letting strangers decide its price. These invisible people have decided to take their happiness off the market entirely. They don't need a digital crowd to tell them that their dinner was good or their vacation was beautiful. By staying silent, they are reclaiming the energy that we waste every single day on keeping up appearances. It is a quiet kind of power that comes from knowing who you are without needing a screen to reflect it back to you. They have figured out that the most important moments in life are the ones that never made it to the internet. There is a primitive kind of power in being unreadable. In a world where everyone is an open book, these people have chosen to become a locked vault. When you show every detail of your life, you become predictable and easy to categorize. But when you stop posting, you force people to use their imagination about you. Mystery is a currency that most people have spent until they are completely bankrupt. The person who disappears from social media suddenly becomes the most interesting person in the room because nobody knows their next move. They understand that privacy is not about having something to hide, but about having something to protect. By not sharing their wins or their losses, they keep their emotional autonomy intact. It is a psychological tactic that shifts the power dynamic back into your hands. While others are begging to be understood, these people are perfectly fine being a mystery. We are the first generation in history that compares our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. Every time you scroll, you are subconsciously measuring your messy reality against someone's filtered lie. But the people who walked away from the feed have stopped running this race they can never win. They realize that you can't be jealous of a life you don't even see anymore. By removing the constant stream of other people's wins, they have cleared the mental fog of inadequacy. Comparison is the thief of joy, but social media has turned that thief into a permanent roommate. These invisible people have evicted that thief and reclaimed their mental space. They are focused on their own growth instead of constantly checking the scoreboard of strangers. Their progress is quiet, and because it is quiet, it is much more sustainable and real. When you stop looking at what everyone else has, you finally start seeing the value of what you already possess. The irony of social media is that we have never been more connected and yet never more lonely. We exchange comments and likes instead of actual eye contact and shared silence. The people who stopped posting have traded thousands of shallow followers for a handful of real humans. They understand that if you have to prove your friendship with a selfie, then the friendship is probably hollow. When you stop broadcasting your life, you find out who actually cares enough to check in on you. You realize that the people who really matter don't need an algorithm to find their way to your door. These invisible people have replaced the dopamine hit of a notification with the oxytocin of a real hug. They are living their moments instead of performing them for an audience of strangers. Their memories aren't stored in a cloud, but in the hearts of the people who were actually there. By becoming unreachable to the masses, they have become deeply available to the few who truly count.
Pause for a second. What we reveal here is part of the San Wisdom Protocol, the dark truths most are too afraid to face. To master these strategic insights and protect your mind, subscribe and hit the bell icon now. Have a topic we should expose? Drop a comment below. Now, back to the shadows.
Ultimately, your life is not a content stream for other people to consume. The people who choose to remain invisible are not hiding from life, they are finally living it on their own terms. They have discovered that the greatest luxury in the modern world is not fame or money, but privacy. When you stop performing for the world, you finally get to meet the person you were before the internet told you who to be. Maybe the reason you feel so tired is not because you are doing too much, but because you are performing too much. Try to remember the last time you did something beautiful just for yourself without thinking about how it would look on a screen. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of self. You don't owe anyone a window into your soul just to prove that you are happy or successful. The next time you feel the urge to post, ask yourself if you are sharing a memory or just begging for a distraction. True power doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be real.